Welcome to the AIE2023.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. How are we all feeling this morning? Are we feeling good? I want to hear you because I know some of you were at Groove last night. I need that Groove energy back. I got a text last night from a good friend saying, "Where are you?" I said, I heard 8 o'clock is call time. So this 8:30, 9 a.m. shift that I'm seeing this morning explains the Groove from here last night. But thank you so much for joining us. A very warm good morning to each and every one of you. Welcome to the Africa Insurance Exchange 2023. We're back again. And it's a pleasure having you right here and hosting, of course, today with you. I'm all the way from ENCA, but as you can see, today I decided to spend some time with you. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule, traveling all the way to Sun City and to, of course, network and collaborate, cultivate and create as we continue to grow the insurance industry, not only in the country, but around the continent of Africa, as well as from around the world. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Give yourselves a warm round of applause for waking up. So, of course, as we gather here today, and without any further ado, I would like to introduce our first speaker to give us a more detailed welcome address and to welcome in so we can kickstart today and tomorrow. There will be a full day of business sessions that I'm looking forward to. Some of the topics really delve into, the heart of the insurance industry, some of the risks that you go through, the challenges, but also opportunities that are exciting that lie ahead. So we're here to foster all those conversations. So please allow me to introduce Ms. Thokozile Mahlangu. Now, she is the Chief Executive Officer of the Insurance Institute of South Africa, and she has been in the insurance industry actually for a long time. The past 20 years, she has served within industry, and she holds a master's degree in business leadership from UNISA, as well as a Bachelor of Law from UNISA as well. Now, she completed a management development program from the Gordon Institute of Business Science, and as I've mentioned, serving in the insurance industry. She's a fellow of the Insurance Institute of SA and passionate about skills development, skills transfer, and knowledge retention. Now, in her role as CEO, which I can imagine is not easy, she, of course, is focused on strengthening the role and relevance of the Institute within the insurance industry, but further elevating the relevance of the insurance profession to be one that is aspired to. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Ms. Thokozile Mahlangu.
With the few minutes that I have, I'd like to remind us of the purpose of having the African Insurance Exchange and honor our sponsors, exhibitors, corporate partners who are always ready and willing to make subject matter experts available to share their insights with us. To the Super Steering Committee, I'm going to touch a bit on that later, the event organizers, and of course, the brain outside me, or the me that I use to duplicate myself. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Work with me. It is my great pleasure to stand in front of you this morning and to extend a very warm welcome to the AIE 2023. To the returning delegates, let's do magic again. To the first-timers, we appreciate you and we hope to see you next year. Come, technology. There we go. So the purpose of the conference is fourfold. Firstly, it affords insurance professionals within the insurance industry and professionals within the financial services sector as a whole an opportunity to enhance their knowledge through consuming thought leadership content that is shared by subject matter experts. Secondly, work with me. We'll get there eventually. Secondly, the conference provides sponsors an opportunity to showcase their brand presence, product offering, support for skills development and professional development. Thirdly, it affords exhibitors an opportunity to engage and reconnect with the industry, and reconnect with delegates and potential customers, as well as showcase their product and service offering. Lastly, professionals have an opportunity within the 3 days that we spend here to secure meetings, have engagements that ordinarily would take one about 3 to 6 months to secure in the normal business environment. So, the African Insurance Exchange is a platform to revive and re-energize the insurance industry to reflect and plan for the future. Delivering an event like this does not come easy. The size is too big. Keeping it fresh, keeping it interesting to make you want to come, finding subject matter experts that have never been utilized before, or subject matter experts that are just different, securing sponsors, securing exhibitors, and ensuring that, of course, we meet your feedback that you give to us during these sessions or post the event. Ain't easy, believe me. But as difficult as it is made easy by our loyal sponsors, our exhibitors, our new sponsors that believe in the conference vision. We appreciate you. Sponsors and exhibitors will be recognized right through the conference between today and tomorrow on the screens. Sitlogolo will also do her bit as we recognize them. From myself, I just want to personally say, I appreciate each and every one of you. When I make that call to ask for sponsorship, you respond with a warm heart. A big thank you to one of our education partners, GIFTS, which made it possible for us to be able to have Dr. Mlambo Ncuka, who's going to join us a little later and deliver a talk as well. This year, they also made it possible for us to have the SABC crew coming here on site to do interviews where we'll produce content that will be TV ready for the future. Dr. Keshan Pillay, your madam, and the gifters, I appreciate you. To all our corporate partners, if I were to sit here and start listing you, we'll probably be here until tomorrow. But I appreciate each and every one of you. I make an effort to make a personal call to each of you, to text you. Believe me, your support, when I just say, I need a subject matter experts in this area, you make it available. Sorry, my voice is dying there. I thank you. To every single speaker that has made the time to come and be here, or that have just made themselves available to share their insights with us. I know it ain't easy. Preparing, delivering, the nerves doing their thing. I appreciate each and every one of you. To everyone that normally would give a name of a potential speaker that we could explore, we do try to accommodate. If we didn't do it this year, we'll do it next year, we'll do it the year after. To the exhibitors, let's do this again next year. We appreciate your support. We know that through the exhibition, you secure new business, you reconnect with the existing customers, and you re-engage with all other industry partners. Once more, sponsors, I appreciate you. Should you have anything else that you'd like us to do differently, we are open to it. Please feel free to just get in touch with me or the office, and we will definitely consider your suggestions. This year, we have 1,000 delegates. We're back. 900 of those are right here, and the others are online. So we do wait for you, those are online. 43% of the delegates are females, 57% male. And to all the ladies, we're getting there. 67% of the delegates are non-white. That's a mix of black, Indian, colored. We're getting there too. And 56% of the delegates are between the age of 36 and 50. We're getting there too. And 45% of the delegates that are here today are at senior management. We're getting there. Slow baby steps, but we're moving towards the right direction. Let's keep at it. Let's be intentional about it. Transformation is meant to be inclusive. Let's get to a point where the industry is representing the South African demographics, and we can. Baby steps, but we can. To my ISA family, some of you may never get to meet them behind the scenes. They work extra hard. I know some of them are online. I thank you guys. You are more than just colleagues. You are family. To my very close team, the management team of ISA, Kopano Khatebe, who's here, our executive manager, professional development. I know you probably have seen her or will see her during the day. JR, Mr. Headbush, our bean counter. I appreciate you guys. To our money maker, our Chief Revenue Officer, Tumisang Moduke, who unfortunately could not be with us here today. Mr. Moneymaker, I don't want to get all emotional. We love and appreciate you. Your hard work is felt. We're still delivering it, and we promise to do it. We are praying for you. This year's gathering marks a significant milestone as we approach the 50th conference next year. Sir, I call upon each and every one of you to take up the opportunity. We've started planning for the AIE2024, which will be the 50th conference we have been hosting ever since. The team is already brainstorming, thinking, pondering. If you've got any suggestion, please throw it over to us. The super early bird registration is already open. So right here on site at the registration desk, you can go and register and take advantage of that. We are also ready to secure sponsorships. So loyal sponsors, new sponsors, potential sponsors, take the opportunity and partner with us as we focus on elevating the relevance of the insurance profession. To all our 2023 sponsors, 2021 that didn't come back, 2020, we invite you back to partner with us as we go into the 50th conference that we have been hosting. In closing, if you are attending the conference and you are a non-member, why are you not a member? I would like to know. The team is here. We've got our sales agents at the ISA or Association Hub, it's called, in the exhibition center right at the corner. Please take time and go and have a chat with our sales agent. They'll be happy to help you to convert you to be a member. They have started engaging with some of us since yesterday. Please do so. In terms of the FSCA stats, there are over 300,000 KIs and REs. Those are people who are eligible to become professional members. I once again ask, if you are in the industry and have been in the industry for more than a year, why are you not a member? As I said, the team is ready to help you, so visit us. To all existing members, there are nice stickers we have for the designations, so grab your sticker, go to the desk, just give the team your ID number, they'll check out your details and get a sticker of the designation you are on. I said I was closing. Nomatia wam, Vumogushentans, my superwoman, my brain outside me. Thank you. Ngiyathokoza. Ngithokoza okungapheliko Nomatia. We've delivered yet another successful conference. I know that you never sleep. You never cease to amaze me. Thank you for enabling me to duplicate myself at all times. To the ISA board, the SAIA board, represented by Wanele in the steering committee, I appreciate you. To my leader, Mr. Mulepe, uzimang begele wena. It's been great working with you. To FIA, Lizelle, thank you for content contribution. We appreciate you. Lani, I know I sent you an email. The very next minute, I get the response back. I appreciate you. To the CNN core crew, the crazy crew. Guys, we did it. We're doing it. We'll continue to do it. When the English data bangles fail us in our steering committee meetings, I switch to iskheto ngibarite ngesindebele ngibarite. Aphendula uvumo kuhlentanzi nokwanele bakhuluma isishakazulu. Yey. Bangena abo Superman babethe ekhan on Spratnet. Ne sibereke sirite. But we ultimately establish an AIE language that we understand, and we deliver this. To Llewellyn and the crew, if I were to sit and count all of you, it will take us another time as well. Baya Danki. The setting looks amazing. The decor looks amazing. I know not many of you will comprehend what it takes to deliver this. These guys don't sleep. They've been on site since Thursday, Friday, setting up. And here we are today. As I said, we did it. We are doing it. And we will continue to do it. To all of you, please enjoy the conference and register for the AIE 2024. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Thokozile, for that warm welcome and all appreciation extended to each and everyone that made this event a success. So we're about to commence with our day, but you know we can't start any event without some housekeeping rules, right? And I have to be honest, and I hope you'll be honest with me back. When preparing for this program, particularly this day, this next item was of essence for me to stress. I won't say the words that were used to describe you were problematic, but the words that were used to describe you were problematic. CPD hours, insurance industry. What is happening with these CPD hours? What is happening? I need an interview, an exclusive on ENCA on CPD hours. But you know what? We're going to tackle it today. Please wear your name tags. I was asked to stress this, that please, 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 please wear your name tags. Keep them on because CPD hours are important in this room for this industry. So I just want to emphasize, keep your tags on. CPD hours. CPD hours. No tag, no CPD. Repeat after me. No tag, no CPD. No tag? Okay, it's going to be an easy day. All right, wasn't that bad. All right. So just emphasis that please kindly keep your keep your tags on for your CPD hours. Now I'm problematic. So we're going to kickstart this event, but we have to also welcome onto the stage to give us a keynote address. And this is quite important just in terms of emphasizing the role that, of course, you know, the ISA has played, not only through the CEO, and of course, we've seen how she has further elaborated on the work that went behind the scenes to get this event done, but of course, we also have to acknowledge some of the leadership that has also come to the fore to make this organization a success. So I'm about to introduce Mr. Colin Molepe, and I mean, he's a highly experienced and accomplished professional in the financial service industry with over 25 years of expertise in banking, medical insurance, life and non-life insurance sectors. Now, with a strong entrepreneurial mindset, Colin has successfully led large-scale transformation programs that have enabled organizations, ladies and gentlemen, to improve on their operating models and technology landscapes. Now, currently serving as the CEO of ABSA Insurance Company, Mr. Colin Molepe has previously held executive positions at prominent organizations such as Zurich Insurance, Bright Insurance, and Discovery Health. He is a member of the OSTI board and the president and chairman of ISA, and Colin is deeply passionate about people, and he excels at leading teams to achieve shared goals. Additionally, if I may add, he actively invests his time, of course, in empowering the next generation of leaders through supporting youth development initiatives. So please help me welcome to the fore Mr. Colin Molepe.
Sanbonan, are you well? I can see now the room is almost there. And while the nerves are kicking in, I regret not taking that invite, Izolo, to have a whiskey or two just to calm the nerves. But I'm sure I'll be fine. I actually, as a runner, saw a finish time tag outside, and I started wondering, are we going to have a marathon? And then Sitloholo reminded us that we need to have the tags all the time. so that we can end the CPD points. So, ladies and gentlemen, good morning to each and every one of you. And thank you so much for blessing us with your presence this morning at the 49th Africa Insurance Exchange Conference of 2023. It is indeed a privilege and an honor to be amongst all of you, for professionals to dedicate nearly 2 to 3 days of their time is something that we really, really value, because we know you've got businesses to run, but you've chosen to make the time to come here, and we hope that you're going to enjoy the content that we have prepared for you. Setlogolo, you know, as usual, we have an amazing lineup of speakers with topics that we think will add value to our delegates. But I think mine today is a fairly easy one. It is tradition that we invite people to become keynote address at this conference, and the selection of these individuals is well thought through. Today I'm going to invite on stage in the next few minutes an individual that is an icon that most of us are familiar with, to give us a keynote address. He is a father and a husband, son of the soil, hailing from this very province in the streets of Potchefstroom. He's not just a spiritual person, but he actually embodies the attributes of spirituality in his daily life and the work that he performs. He is indeed a selfless man who has dedicated his life to serving others with no expectation, and not even an expectation of a thank you. He tells me that, Colin, when I was given this particular mandate, I was told, don't expect anything from anyone. If anything, they will kick you on the backside, but if they don't, that's a bonus. His passion and commitment for our beloved South Africa will send shivers up your spine. That is, if you have one. He is a committed and passionate South African. Besides being a qualified medical doctor, he has received north of 10 honorary doctorates. None have been disputed, by the way. He leads the largest disaster response organization in the continent that was formed exactly 3 decades a month from today, which is an honor for us to actually have him here. They have delivered 5 billion worth of aid in the past 30 years, giving aid to millions of people in well over 45 countries. You know, wide of the disaster events like the ones we've seen in the past in KZN and here in Johannesburg, when they have a BAU kind of activity and not responding to these massive events, I ask them what keeps them busy. Of course, the list is endless, but this includes but is not limited to drilling boreholes, giving out bursaries, giving stationary packs to those who are deserving, providing water trucks, distributing wheelchairs, helping with infrastructure build, and helping government with service delivery related activities. And as my colleagues from the Eastern Cape would say, Ndibalantonina, because the list is just endless. Today we have invited Dr. Suleiman to grace us with his pearls of wisdom. And you may ask why. And as we've indicated in the invitation, that the whole idea is to actually form collaborative partnerships with people who can make meaningful difference. We've got to move from just focusing on our sector and our sector alone. Last night at dinner, we asked him, how do we partner with you? and I thought we'll be going through detailed planning structures. But he shared very simple things. We've got to get back to the basics. But I'm not going to get into that detail because he'll share that story with you. I'm of a firm view that the only way as South Africans and in the continent wide that we can get things done is to form strategic partnerships that are not focused on profits. As I've said to you, the work that Gift of the Givers does is quite amazing. In fact, you saw what happened last year when corporates partnered with him, because there is an element and an advantage that he has that not government and corporates have. But we all have a common thing that we want to make a difference in our lifetime. So the partnership that we want to form with Gift of the Givers is meant to address some of the ails and issues we have in this country of ours. And we believe that from here on, we are going to make a difference. Now, of course, Dr. Suleiman does not need more accolades, more trophies. I know for a fact that his cabinet is more fuller than my beloved football club, Kaizer Chiefs. But I think you would agree with me that he also deserves to constantly be acknowledged for the work that he does. So we thought it would be fitting for us to just add a small token of appreciation, in particular for the contribution that Gift of the Givers did for this particular country back in April of 2022, and many, many other events to come. As risk managers, you know that one of the biggest risks we face is the advent of continuous weather events that are not relenting. But more about that a little bit later. So ladies and gentlemen, as I welcome Dr. Suleiman to give us the keynote, please rise on your feet and give him a warm welcome so that we can praise him with this award. Thank you.
Thank you, Colin. Tokozile, insurance industry, and you guys got so many different names, whatever your names are. When I listened, a big clap, a big applause for that lady who sang the national anthem. She was absolutely brilliant. You would expect people to be depressed, downhearted, broken, failed state, economic collapse, blackout, load shedding. When you hear those kind of terms, people get depleted of energy. This lady just infused energy into the South African spirit. There was not only warmth in her voice, there was spirituality, there was positivity. She was a South African that resembles all of us. Totally resilient, hopeful that the country can be fixed. And yes, this country is the greatest country on earth. What we need is mindset change. Negativity breeds negativity. An active body will be totally destroyed by a negative mindset. Spirituality teaches you that in everything, as long as you're positive, things will improve. Now me, I'm not a normal tourist. I'm a disaster tourist. I specialize in visiting countries that are messed up. Mayhem, chaos, war, conflict, disorder. We're nowhere near a failed state. Check with Emirates. They'll tell you pre-COVID, They had 49 flights a week to South Africa. There are already 43 flights a week to South Africa. Are all mad people coming to a failed state? What caused more damage than load shedding and everything else in the current terms was lockdown. Did you see cars in the street? Did you see people in hotels? Did you see the conference center busy? Did you see car guards getting an income? Do you see waiters getting a tip? Do you see the bed and breakfast doing any money? Do you see the flights flying? Did you see the job losses in the thousands now than compared to that time? Did you see the anxiety and fear and the mental challenges at that time compared to now? No, ladies and gentlemen, we are nowhere near a failed state. We are resilient, and in everything there is hope and there's progress. People say government is corrupt. Government is not corrupt. People inside government are corrupt. We need to make that distinction very, very clearly. Because the moment you say that, you demoralize the good people within an entire system. If I tell you the insurance industry is corrupt, dishonest, liars, and rogues, what are you going to say? They only take your money, they never give you back. You're not going to like that, are you? Some of you may be doing that. All of you don't do that. You tell a lawyer, the lawyers, your friend stole from the Road Accident Fund. Do you write off the legal information? When doctors do malpractice, do we write off the medical profession? No. In the same way, whilst people are corrupt in government, the entire system is not corrupt. And the other bad habit many South Africans have is to say the SAPS are really bad people. I mean, that is totally heartbreaking and destroying to the soul of those who put their lives on the line. In the floods of April 2022, few days into the event, a police constable lady, young, dives into the Henley Dam, not to take out a live person, to take out the body of a child and the body of an old man. Because as part of our belief system, as part of human need, we require closure. And she dived into that dam and she drowned. So when she comes home, her two small children in Pietermaritzburg, what do you tell them? That your mother belongs to a class of people called rogues, called dishonest people, called corrupt. They're known as the SAPS. You'll break the heart of those children when the mother died in the line of duty. A few years ago, a police van was driving between Pietermaritzburg, where I now live, and Cato Ridge. And on the way, a dog was running across the road. The police could have just driven past, stopped, carried the dog, took it safely to the side of the road, and carried on. Compassion and humanity is part of every individual. April 2022, lockdown level 5. People were hungry. They had lost jobs, no income. In a place called Nonzamo in Strand, we were delivering food parcels like we were delivering everywhere else in the country. 8 o'clock at night, the police says, lockdown, level 5, shut down. The queues are long because of social distancing and physical distancing, everybody's 1 meter apart. Everything takes long. All people in the queue can't move fast. It's freezing cold. People have been waiting for the whole day to get that food parcel because they are hungry. My team members call me. I say, put the SAPS guy on the phone. I'll tell my friend, you can jump in the lake, stand on your head, arrest my people, do what you want. I'm not shutting this procedure down. You can lock us up, I'm breaking the law. He thinks for a few seconds. To his credit, he says, I will also break the law. And he phones for reinforcements, not to arrest us, but to take those old people in the car to their house late at night. Compassion and humanity is in every one of us. We just need to see that. 12:30 in the morning, the last old lady takes a food parcel and she says, I'm going now home and I'm going to wake my grandchildren up. And we say, why do something so crazy? She says, when I left home this morning, they looked at me but hope in their eyes because they hadn't eaten for 3 days. If the police enforced level 5 lockdown, you would have broken the soul of the grandmother as well as those children. Ladies and gentlemen, we need 4 qualities to fix this country. We don't need money. Money will always come. Spirituality, morality, values, and ethics. You have a contract or you have a saying, I don't know how to say it exactly in Latin, oberi mai fide, with utmost good faith. Do we act with utmost good faith in our profession, in everything that we do in this country? When you start doing things with utmost good faith, with spirituality, we will fix everything. Part of the challenges of our people and the difficulty that we have is because the incidents came too close together. Floods in 2019 with Cyclone Idai that hit Mozambique, but Malawi and Zimbabwe, and we had floods in Durban, it affected your industry. 2020 came COVID, affected the life industry. 2021 came the civil unrest in KZN, affected your industry again. And 2022, the floods, again, affected you again, besides all the fires and everything else. And 2023, load shedding. All of this together has clouded our minds. Must I stay in the country? Must I leave? Must I have 1 foot here? Must I have 1 foot outside? You can't work like that. You can't be 2 different people. Either you're here or you're out. There's no middle way. How do you deal with this? From a disaster point of view, we take each incident and we deal with it separately. So in 2019, yes, we had the damage and we recovered from it. Not completely, but we recovered and life carried on. COVID came and something unique happened in the medical profession and in the corporate world. Medical guys are very bad administrators. They can tell you, you're sick and what you're dying from, maximum. Can't do more than that. But they can't arrange things. They looked at how to reposition, repurpose hospitals, ICU, theaters, and every other aspect to try to make a difference to save lives. They watched their family members die. They watched their colleagues die. Mental emotion that caused havoc in the medical profession was huge. Healthcare professionals don't ever ask for psychological support. Never. For the first time in our history, if you check the chats, they were but shy in the beginning. So they would say it very subliminally. Does anybody offer yoga? Can we do breathing exercise? Does anybody teach mindfulness? Is there a retreat you can go to? Can anybody give psychological support? And then outright psychiatric support. But what does it tell you? They were brave enough to ask. If you don't ask, you don't identify the problem, you can't fix the problem. And all of us in this country have gone through that process. Lost family members, lost jobs, lost staff. So, administrative point of view, the healthcare professionals did something unique. Corporates did even something more unique. You see, normally with the corporates, you guys have a CSI division. And the CSI division understands nothing about compassion and helping people. I'm a very blunt guy. And they would say, how many BE points will we get? Like that's more important than the people. Will we get a tax certificate? And will Tumelo give us some nice words on ENCA? That's what they're interested in. Nothing more than that. But corporate South Africa changed during COVID. The MDs and the CEOs of the companies called and said, forget all those things. Just tell us one thing. How can we save lives and how can we save our country? When you have that kind of compassion and that kind of commitment, why are you guys here in the first place? Please tell me. You come for conference every year, but why are you here now? All of you are looking at how to improve your system. I spoke at 173 venues last year. All with the same kind of thoughts. Organizing, sitting, planning, networking, thinking. Why are you doing that? If you think that this is a failed state and you're going to leave the country, you must be really stupid to get together and try to organize meetings and then you leave the country. Doesn't make any sense. Or you like this place, I don't know. And that's the quality of South Africans. We didn't give up with the floods of 2019. We didn't give up with the COVID of 2020. The unrest in 2021, instead of putting fear into you, should put hope into you. Am I sounding crazy? You see, it's about how you look at situations. People said it's an insurrection. What's an insurrection? Attack the union buildings, parliament, airport, harbour, electricity supply, roads, defense force, police. Where in the history of the world did you see an insurrection where people run into the malls to take free stuff? It was not a riot. There was no riot. It was ordinary people who were instigated. And the problem is not them, the ordinary masses that were used as fodder. They were used as pawns by the people I call the anti-patriots and the traitors. Call them out for who they are. Those are the people we've got to find. Anybody who causes disorder in a country that puts fear and puts anxiety and separates the country and turns civilians against each other is a traitor responsible for treason. So these ordinary people went. A 2-year-old child walking takes a pair of shoes. Highly dangerous writer this is. Taking a pair of shoes. An old lady was 70 years old on a walking stick. There's a powerful weapon she's got in her hand. Carrying a tin of fish. If she drops the fish, what's she going to do? She can't drop the stick because she needs to hold the fish. So she's going to hold the fish. And then you have the young guys. I was 1 kilometer. I live 1 kilometer from Brookside Mall. The Checkers building that burnt. And the guy's walking with a fridge on his back. Very dangerous guy. Don't even have electricity in the house. But takes the fridge and the stove and the microwave and the DSTV. They were instigated. But it was the mad mentality. People didn't know what they were doing. But you know the beauty of this country. Those people felt real remorse for what happened. They didn't harm anybody. The real devils were the guys that came behind them, that burned the malls, the shops, and everything else to give an indication that they have masses of support and they're violent and they're powerful. You see, when anybody instigates people to go en masse to loot, it means they got no numbers on their side. You need to create numbers. They have no power. There is absolutely nothing to fear. Do this in South America, in Europe, in Asia. Tell people there's free stuff in the mall. Millions will come. They will come in the millions. Not to harm anybody, not to hurt anybody. They were used. Which insurrection you hit one province only? Does one province control a country? 8 provinces, nothing happened. Again, to the credit of South Africans. Who turned it around? The guys we just don't like on the roads. We call them the taxi drivers. They came out and said, this will not carry on. There's goodness in everyone. Look for the good in everyone. They contributed to bring stability to the country. All South Africans are interested in that kind of life. To the credit of the CEOs of companies again, who responded first? The guys whose shops, whose malls, whose warehouses, whose trucks, whose package supplies, whose forklifts were burnt. They responded first. What do you need and how much do you need? The same thinking from COVID. But here you think there's anger, there's hate. Don't help those people, let them suffer. No. We are South African. We help each other. The only way a nation can rise is if we take hands and hold each other and go forward together. There is no other way. 2022, April 11th, at 5:30 in the evening, the flood waters rose 8 meters in 45 minutes. And I expected people to say, I want a helicopter, a boat, a diver, earth-moving equipment because the whole boundary wall fell down. Nobody. The only people that called was corporate South Africa. Till 1 o'clock in the morning. And the only question was, what do you need and how much do you need? Ladies and gentlemen, when that kind of compassion and spirituality comes into a nation, we can't lose. We'll have challenges, yes, that's part of life, but we can't lose. When there's love, when there's hope, when there's a desire to do things together. You see, the greatest event in this country was 27 April 1994. Not because the black government replaced the white government. Governments come and go all the time. That's not news. It changes all the time. What was significant was the behavior of the masses. Those we demonized during the civil unrest and the looting. And every time there's something wrong, we demonize the masses. What did they do? You see, the world's media came here with their war rooms. They were expecting this big uprising, violence, burning, looting, killing. Time to take revenge. Now's our opportunity. And what were all of us told? Buy food, stockpile your houses, keep your passport ready, keep your jewelry ready. You're going to fly. You're going to be running. Mandela always said, the people have spoken. The people certainly spoke on 27 April 1994 without the words. They spoke in their behavior and in their body language. And all the world's media that came here was the most boring story in history. Because nothing happened. There were only long lines of queues. But in nothing that happened, everything happened. It set the basis for the new constitution, the new dispensation of South Africa. What did the people tell you? You put us in detention without trial. Our family members were missing. You shot at us at Soweto Day, in Sharpeville. You gave us the Dom Pass. You arrested us. You oppressed us. You gave us every type of difficulty. We will not take revenge. We will not destroy the country. In dignity, they stood in those lines in that sun with respect and obedience and discipline. They had the opportunity. It was their turn to wreck the country up. But these are the people of faith, of love, of forgiveness, of patience. And they said, we will not destroy the country. They even shared the country with everybody after everything that has happened. And in 1995, Mandela took a great risk. He put on Francois Pienaar's jersey. What is rugby associated with? The sport of the oppressor. But he was a great leader. Yes, he could have won the battle, but all of us would have lost the war. Show me any country that is stable after internal unrest, where people turn and tear each other apart. There is no victor. There's vengeance and hatred for hundreds of years. You can't fix it. Lose the battle and win the war. And then they said, let's take the stem and put it in Kosisikelela. We will compromise. The stem is regarded as the national anthem of the oppressor. And they put it in the Kosisikelela in Africa. Isn't that showing great statesmanship? Showing compassion? Showing forgiveness, showing social cohesion? What are we as fellow South Africans now learning from that? Do we just want to make and take and not give back? That will be the source of disaster and destruction. You see, we have a teaching. What you don't spend is not yours. So if I give all of you 2 billion rand here, you're going to be very happy. How many lifetimes is that going to take for you to spend that amount of money? Do you really need that amount of money? You can have 5 houses. You can only live in one. You can have 10 bedrooms. You only sleep in one. You can have 10 expensive cars. You drive one, the other, the 9 batteries. The batteries go flat. And then you're going to find a guy to fix your car. It's all a headache. Maintenance problems. No, ladies and gentlemen. There's a share in everything that we have. So let's go back to the root where all this started off. My emphasis is on the word spirituality and ethics. In utmost good faith. You see, Gift of the Givers is not my organization. I didn't get up one morning and say to myself, I think today I've got nothing to do. So I'll form an organization, I'll give it a name, write some founding principles, get some founder members and write a constitution. It never happened that way. Every aspect of the organization was spiritual. The English date coincides with 6 August 1992. It's 31 years next month. To me, there was something more important than the English date. When I reflect, I understand that it started in 1985. What happened in 1985? I was in internship in King Edward Hospital, doing internship. And as all young people, we have a goal for our lives. We plan for the future. Next year, I'm going to be a medical officer, then a registrar, then a consultant physician in internal medicine. It never happened that way. No opportunity, no post. I couldn't study further. Now, I could do one of two things, which all South Africans are faced with currently. I can sit in a corner and mope and be depressed and cry and wail and say, do a somersault, it's the end of the world. Or I can say, God has given me intellect, reason, the ability to face challenges, to fix things, to look at things in a different way. So yes, I have to go to Maritzburg now and start private practice, something that I never wanted to do. But under the circumstances, when you have the challenges, you find something to do to carry on with life. We have another teaching. We don't pray for what we want. We pray for what is good for us. Because what you want may not necessarily be good for you. So when there are roadblocks and obstacles and things are not working out right, don't do the cartwheels. Go back, maybe you're getting a spiritual sign. My friend, you're going the wrong road, all the potholes are on that side. Look at things differently and open your mind to something very, very different. Because maybe in that lies the answer, not in what you want, but what's good for you. So January 1986, I moved to Maritzburg. The same week, an Afrikaner guy from Pretoria moved to Maritzburg. He just came from America, and he came to teach French at the University of Natal. Now that to me is also a strange thing. I've never heard of an Afrikaner guy teaching French before. So in any case, my neighbor was a butcher, comes to me and says, I got this Afrikaner guy. He's there at the university. He bought meat from me, but he's got a medical problem. He needs a doctor. So Mullah and I meet. I treat him a few times. One day he tells me, I want to tell you a story. He says, I was walking through the streets of New York. My heart was broken. My soul was broken. My spirit was broken. I was totally depressed and dejected. I don't even know what I was doing in that country. I felt very empty. From the corner of my eye, I see a man looking at me. I don't know this man. I've never seen him before. My heart tells me to follow this man. We have a teaching. When in doubt, listen to your heart, not your head. So he follows the man. The man walks into St. John the Divine. It's a huge church in New York, which I visited on my way to Turkey for the same reason. Sorry, on my way to Haiti for the earthquake at that time. So Mullah walks into the church behind this man, and he says, I realize the man is a Muslim, a Turk, a Sufi, a master of spirituality. In the church, the Sufi master leads a zikr. A zikr is a celebration of God's names in Arabic. If you translate and you look at the other scriptures, all it says is God the one and only, kind, compassionate, merciful, loving, eternal, absolute, cherisher, nourisher, provider, protector, sustainer, and so it goes. In the church, there were Jewish rabbi, Christian priests, Hindu pandits, people of other religion, and people of no religion. And they all participated in the zikr. How is that possible? We are told that religion is the cause of conflict. Religion is not the cause of conflict. People who move away from religion are the cause of conflict because you lose your values of ethics, of spirituality, of morality, of righteousness, of goodness, of sharing, of compassion and honesty and integrity. The Christian elders of the church understood the unity of religion. They understood the unity of mankind, and they had no issue with another man from another religion doing the zikr in their church, because they understood all source comes from the same path. So Mullah talks to me again, and he says, you need to go to Turkey. So I told him, Mullah, I know you're sick. I'm treating you. When the hell am I going to get to Turkey? I haven't been to Cape Town as yet. He says something very profound. He says, what God wills happens. There's a time and a place. August 91 was the time and a place. It's a long story. When my wife and I get to Turkey, what he saw in New York, we saw in Istanbul. What he saw in a church, we saw in a Muslim holy place. This was post-Gulf War. The world was polarized. Samuel Huntington spoke of the clash of civilizations. The perception was Jews, Christians, and Hindus on one side, Muslims on the other side, East on one side, West on the other side. Coming from an apartheid past really didn't help. And as we walked inside there, we saw Americans, Russians, people from Sweden, Norway, Denmark, Brazil, Argentina, Mexico, Canada, parts of Southeast Asia and Africa, all in Muslim holy place. Christians, Jews, Hindus, Muslims, all religion and no religion. No conflict, no disorder, no friction, no fighting. Nobody taking a religion and pushing down somebody else's throat. Nothing. Only respect and love. I couldn't understand this. The spiritual teacher saw the shock on my face. I understood the power of spirituality. He didn't ask me anything else. Where did you come from? How's your flight? Where are you staying? Did you eat something? What hosts normally do. His first question to me is, what do you see? Because that was troubling my soul. I said, I'm confused. What are these people doing in a Muslim holy place? We fought with them all over the world. Why are they here? He said, you're right. Then he said, mankind is one single nation. The God of all mankind is one. We just call him by different names. Any imam, priest, rabbi, sheikh, Sufi, Pandit, or anyone else that promotes violence, extremism, discord, chaos, confusion, or disorder is not a man of God. Don't follow him. Anyone that preaches love, kindness, compassion, and mercy is the man of God. Follow him. I understood at that point that we don't judge human beings, that we don't look at the negativity. He said clearly, people may have bad habits. It doesn't make them bad people. Don't ever emphasize on the negative. Always emphasize on the positive. So if you see somebody doing wrong, don't talk about the wrong. Look for the good in that person and say you did good in this. And if you keep saying that, the good will come up and the bad will go down. And the quality of all individuals in the country and in society will increase and improve. And that's how you build a better, more stable state. A spiritual state of people showing goodness. You want to fix the country. We say government is corrupt. I told you government is not corrupt. Isn't there corruption in the corporate world also? In the religious world? In the NGO world? We want to fix the country? Look in the mirror. You'll see so many wrong things. You won't have time to look at the wrongs of anybody else. You need to fix yourself. And when all of us fix ourselves, we will fix the system and everything else in this country. So, I go back to South Africa, and the yearning is to come back to this place. I got a spiritual bug now. Something special about this place. 6 August 1992, the official date. Thursday night, 10 p.m. After a zikr session again, the spiritual teacher lifts his head up, makes eye contact with me. I'm on the other side of the room. He looks heavenwards too, and looks at me at the same time. And then, in fluent Turkish, I don't speak a word of Turkish, but I understood every single word that he said in Turkish that night. He said, my son, I'm not asking you, I'm instructing you to form an organization. The name in Arabic, Waqful Waqifin. Translated, gift of the givers. You will serve all people, of all races, all religions, all colors, all classes, all cultures, of any geographical location and of any political affiliation, but you will serve them unconditionally. You will expect nothing in return, not even a thank you. In fact, in what you're going to be doing for the rest of your life, expect to get a kick up your back. If you don't get a kick up your back, regard it as a bonus. Serve people with love, kindness, compassion, and mercy. And remember that dignity of men is foremost. Race difference will not destroy a country. Economic classes will not destroy a country. Nothing else will destroy a country except if people lose dignity. When dignity is lost and there are no consequences because you've got nothing else to lose, you've lost everything. The amount of negative energy that will go through an individual will be highly destructive. We're not at that phase yet. And we won't get to that phase because of the quality of the people in this country. They showed it to us on 27 April 1994. And the corporates showed it to us during July 2021 when there was no anger to come fix the country. We have to make sure that we hold hands with government and the country and return dignity to those people. As I'm speaking to you right now, there's children dying of starvation in the Eastern Cape. This country got gold, diamonds, iron or God knows what, and children are dying of starvation in the Eastern Cape. Is that logical? During July 2020, during the lockdown, a child comes, black child, emphasis on color is deliberate. Black child comes to the queue, small, thin, torn shirt, no shoes, no socks, no hat, no jersey, no jacket, shaking, and tells the soup kitchen, I'm hungry, but I won't eat much. Because my mother, my father, my brother and sister also need food. Will you rather give me the food for them and not for me? Because they haven't eaten for days. Will we understand that? We come to conferences in places like this. We live in expensive homes, goes to the restaurant, drink till late at night. Will we understand the hardship of those people and relate to them? No, you will never understand that unless you go into the area. How do you tell a parent your child fell down a toilet and died in feces? What if your child or your grandchildren died in feces? What will you do? Yet they sit there patient, waiting with faith and hope. We failed them before 94 and we failed them after 94 also. Let's call a spade a spade. We need to stand together and fix this country together. The government can't do it alone. They don't have the skills, they don't have the expertise, they don't have the experience. And to be fair, 7.4 million taxpayers can't look after 65 million people. It's impossible. When they were not given an opportunity, when they were not given a chance to study, to be entrepreneurs, to make progress, to help the communities, we have to carry that now. It's not impossible. You can do it. We can fix this country in a very short space of time. Clothe the naked, feed the hungry, provide water to the thirsty. And in everything that you do, be the best at what you do. Not because of ego. That's the biggest monster in the universe. It takes men and husband and wife separate. It separates parents and children. It separates the management and lower down in the corporate companies, in the religious sector, in government. Ego is the biggest curse. Not because of ego, but because you're dealing with human life, human emotion, human suffering, and human dignity. This is an instruction for you for the rest of your life. I was 30 years old. And then he said, my son, whatever you do is done through you and not by you. No place for ego. I got hundreds of those things, those awards. Everything is done through you. I'm intelligent enough to know the kind of things that you guys think I do is not humanly possible. There's a higher hand taking care of every aspect. I asked him, how is it that when you speak Turkish, I understand? Other people speak Turkish, I don't understand. He said, my son, when the hearts connect and the souls connect, the words become understandable. I asked him, now we've got a problem here. I'm a doctor in private practice. I have 3 surgeries in a place called Pietermaritzburg in South Africa. What exactly am I supposed to do? And when? Like after hours, public holidays, long weekends, December holidays, when? He told me one line, you will know. For 30 years, I do know. What to do, how to do, what not to do, what to touch, what not to touch. In fact, the moment I walked out of that place on the 6th of August, 1992, the same month, it came to me that same night, by inspiration, respond to the civil war in Bosnia. The same month, I took in 32 containers of aid into Bosnia. 3 months later, in November, 8 containers of winter items. The chill factor in Eastern Europe in winter can reach minus 21 degrees. The following year, we designed the world's first containerized mobile hospital, a product of South African technology. We have great skills in this country. Product of South African technology taken from Africa to Europe. The CNN commentator said on the 1st of February, the South African containerized mobile hospital is equal to any of the best hospitals in Europe. Ladies and gentlemen, I can go on and on and on. I just want to give you an example of how spirituality works and the qualities and the capabilities of our teams. They all studied in our government schools, model city schools, private schools, our universities, private institutions, the quality of South Africans. If we can do something like this outside the world, you can understand what we can do inside the world. So what am I talking about? You see, in a disaster, some people send tents, blankets, food, medicine, bottled water, sanitary pads, hygiene packs, and so on. Material support. Some people send primary healthcare medical teams. Somebody sends trauma medical teams, meaning surgeons, anesthetists, theater nurse, ICU nurse, intensivists. Some people send post-op spinal rehab. A physiotherapist, spinal physio specialist makes people walk again. Some send trauma counselors. Some send search and rescue. Some send canine, dogs. Some send medical equipment. Some send search and rescue equipment. Some give money out to people to buy things. Some rebuild hospitals, schools, clinics. Some restart agriculture. If it's a conflict situation and somebody's taken hostage, some people send out hostage negotiation teams. We're the only organization in the world that does all of the above. No government, no organization in the world can touch us. We can get off a plane and put up a theater and an ICU on the runway in 15 minutes. In Somalia, in 3 hours, we set up an entire hospital with theater, ICU, oxygen, pediatrics, gynae, obstetrics, dietetics, physiotherapy, dental, ultrasound, all in 3 hours. Those are South Africans, 100% pure, no imports. All from this country, all studied here, and they have what is called the spirit of Ubuntu. Every country we go to, they tell us, you guys are different. And we ask them, why are we different? And they say, you hold our children. You wipe their nose. You show them love. You treat us with dignity. Other people treat us like leprosy. They stand far. They do like that. Far. Like suddenly we got some kind of curse upon us. You treat us as human beings. Intelligence, education, learning without spirituality and compassion is useless. If you don't have those qualities, you can be an intelligent dictator. You can be a monster, using your learning to destroy people instead of rebuilding people. The final point about spirituality. Last year, November, my friend calls me from Cape Town and says, would you want to meet the new guy from Turkish Airlines from San Francisco? He's coming to South Africa, to Cape Town. He's the new general manager. I said, yes, there's a time and a place. February 1st, I'm on the flight from Durban to Cape Town. And as I'm about to board, I remember this guy from San Francisco is coming. So I called the guy. I said, is this guy available? He said, yes, we'll have some purpose time tonight. So I meet him. And I said, Sinan, my first words to him. I said, Sinan, I need an airline partner. I've tried for many years. I can't find the right one. I need an airline partner to carry search and rescue equipment, personnel, and dogs in the event an earthquake happens to some country. 5 days later, the earthquake hit his country. How is that possible? On the 4th of February, I fly to Johannesburg. I don't normally do that. Normally from one city, I go back home. And my wife said, it's a family wedding, you're ducking all the weddings, you can't duck today. So I have to listen to the boss. So I go to the wedding, and on the 5th, somebody forgot to book our tickets back to Johannesburg. We're very philosophical about it. It's God's plan. God knows better. You're going to meet the brothers and sisters, spend more longer time with them, go to the Central Mall, waste some time, things like that. I knew that was not the reason. 4:17 on the morning of 6th February was the reason. 7.8 on the Richter scale. Massive earthquake affecting the lives of 15 million people. I told my wife, within an hour, the Turkish ambassador is going to call me. Thank God I'm in Joburg. Thank God they didn't book the flights. An hour later, the Turkish ambassador called me. The team's already getting ready. They were about to go. And then at that point, I realized we're going to need canines. We phoned the Western Cape Provincial Commissioner. We're in communication all the time. And we said, General Patakile, we need dogs. I'm not taking private dogs and private dog handlers because I believe in strengthening the public service. We take disaster management teams from the public service. We take medical guys from the public service. We take dogs from the public service because we believe in strengthening and support the country, like we all have to work together to fix this country. So he says, you are lucky. The head of the dog unit is sitting right next to me. 8 months he wasn't bloody sitting there. The day we needed him, he was there, right next to him. There is hope for government. They took a decision in 5 minutes. Where the hell can it be done in 5 minutes? 5 minutes, he said, approved. 5 dogs and 6 handlers. 12 hours later, those dogs and the handlers were in the airport. The head of that dog unit, Brigadier Vimla Mudli. 4 months prior to that, I converted a Toyota Land Cruiser for the dog unit in PE. I didn't know it was under her unit, and I didn't even know her. They said, you got this beautiful Land Cruiser. They didn't cover it. You can't put a dog inside, they'll jump out and run away. So close the van. We did it. That same dog unit van that we closed belonged to the head, Brigadier Vimla Mudli. Brigadier Vimla Mudli leads the dogs to Turkey. We get to Istanbul. They fly us to Adana, the Turkish government. The dogs are all sitting in business class. All the people are sitting in the back. Day 8, 13 February 2023. We repeated a feat that we did on 28 January 2010. Day 8 on the Haiti earthquake. We pulled out alive 64-year-old Azizi in the collapsed Catholic Church. It was a world first for the African organization, or for the African continent, for that matter. Never before has anybody from the African continent taken anybody alive out of the rubble in an earthquake outside the African continent. Our teams were the first. 20 January 2010. 13 February 2023. Brigadier Vimla Mudli's dog says there's somebody in this building, we better check. And our teams pulled out alive a 90-year-old Turkish old woman in that building because of that dog. 12 government teams were there. 11 government and us. We were the only non-government team in Hatay. Every other team was sent by their government in their plane, their equipment, their uniform. We're the only team in the world that brought our government with us. The other way around. And then they were highly impressed. They said, 5 dogs. We only got like 2. Can we lend your dog? I'm an Indian, business opportunity. $50 an hour. And then they said, how come your dog can smell a live person and a deceased person and make out a difference? Our dogs can't do that. The South African dog is trained to do that. And we said, that's simple. The dog is South African. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a great country. Believe in it. Let's hold hands together. We can fix it. The last point about you guys, you see? When the fires came in Naisna, you guys worked for the buildings to burn first. Then you want to take out CSI money. When the buildings don't burn, no big problem. We saved P from burning down to the ground. November last year, the fire chief calls and says, my trucks can't reach the fire. We don't have water, it's day zero. We don't have enough trucks. We don't have enough firefighters. And we can't support the firefighters with energy biscuits, water, liquids, and everything else. We are in serious trouble. National disaster didn't even look at them. The fire was coming to the mall on the N2, several other malls and suburbs, and there was no chance they were going to fight this. Nobody could do anything. Had we not stepped in, you guys would be out of pocket for a couple of billion rand. What did we do? We sent in helicopters and planes, and we bombed the fire with water from the top. We sent in extra trucks. We opened the bowls. We drilled 45 bowls in PE. And the civilians got involved. They came with Jojo tanks on the buckets. We filled them with water, and they went to put the fire out. We paid for extra firefighters. We supported them with food and liquids and water to make sure that we can save the city. You see, our job, when you guys look at the stuff, how much money can we save? Can we avoid paying this claim? Let's fight for all the loopholes in the law that says we can't pay the claim. That's what you guys do, right? Our job is about humanity. Informal settlements burn. They're not insured. Do you look the other way? You could have been living in the informal settlement. Rethink the grace and Almighty's gratitude. Be grateful. Thank Almighty's grace that you're not living in that situation, where you're not caught up without insurance, where you're not stuck. Will you sell a policy to somebody that you yourselves will not buy? Will you sign a contract but you yourself will not pay out? Ladies and gentlemen, spirituality, morality, values, and ethics, we will save the country. Thank you very much.